Good morning. Hope everybody can hear me. If there's anybody out there. All right. Fix that up a little bit there. Well, everybody, I'm back. Payrolls rose by 64,000 in November after falling by 105,000 in October. Yeah, so it did nothing for the markets. To me, none of this matters. Just my opinion, but I think the market's going to continue to sell off. People are just liquidating, taking their profits at end of year, show their investors they're managing money for what they've made and all that good jazz. So even on the Bitcoin and stuff as well. So to me, and you can see it didn't budge the market at all. It actually it started to try to be like, all right, let's go ahead. But yeah, it's a sell market right now. So that's my game plan going in for today. I do have some long ideas as well, but if anybody has actually watched any of these live streams, haven't really been trading the individual stocks recently. I did one. I did a couple, Micron and Apple, but really I've been just trading the S&P and the Qs and the IWM recently. So it's kind of where I'm at with it, because on any pump, and we've seen it just over and over again, it's just been sold every time. So break and retest is my main choice of trading when the opportunities present themselves, but just haven't been able to see that at all. Nvidia has been a dead stock, haven't been able to do it. But you can just see, like, on a bunch of these charts, like there's kind of like mini inverted head and shoulders and stuff like that. But any pop gets sold into if you're actually paying attention to the market. So I don't expect anything different. I expect if there is any sort of pop today that it will get sold. So that's basically my thoughts on the market. You know, the VIX has now jumped back over what I define as a key level. So right here, we're just above that level. Continue to see it go up as we go down. I actually think on the Qs we're going to break 600. And we're probably going to come down to that key level right here around somewhere around here. And maybe even here. My one of the bots that I have actually had said that it expects a price target of 592. So that would be kind of crazy to see it go all the way down here. Not out of the realm, but there is a gap down here. So I mean, I guess I can't go down as far as I'd like, but on the smaller charts like this. But if we just kind of come over here and take a look, there's a gap way down here that never was filled. So why? Excuse me. Jeez. Why not go ahead and just fill that gap? So I don't think I'd hold a trade down that long, because news of any type can obviously reverse it, but I will scalp my way down if I have to. So it's currently where we're at with that. The numbers came out earlier. Like I said, an unemployment rate tick, which when I first saw that, saw the market starting to go up, I was like, that's crazy. People lose jobs, and that's a positive because rate cuts, right? But anyway, we have the flash manufacturing and services at 945. So pretty much trying to do nothing before that is going to be key. So I probably won't take a trade till after that, let it settle out. But yeah, so 8:45 is my start time with these. I will trade live. So if anybody sees it and hops on in, you will see that I am trading live. So Kalishi or whatever it's called. That's funny. Ford pulling back on the EVs. Who wants an electric truck, right? Kraft Heinz. See if there's anything worth actually talking about on here. Roomba going bankrupt. Who doesn't have one of those in their house these days? I mean, barely have to vacuum at all with that thing. So it's kind of nice. You just really hit the edges and everything. Roomba takes care of the rest. So surprised they overextended themselves, but probably because there's so many knockoffs now that are at cheaper prices, they couldn't compete with that. But saw that yesterday, the potential executive order to reconsider reclassifying the marijuana. So pot stocks took a nice bump yesterday. Wow, 200 billion. Hopefully the federal or the Supreme Court comes out with that decision soon. I had heard that a while ago, and this Monday, or was it this Monday? No, it was their last meeting, I guess, was like on the 12th or something like that. So on that Friday. So I'm assuming at some point we will hear something about that, and maybe that's the uncertainty that the markets need to unlock that pushes things higher, is there's more clarity on what's exactly going to happen with that. So I did try to do like a search on it. Let's just see here. I hate how it goes to that. Google. Let it go to Google. But Supreme Court ruling on tariffs. Yeah, I asked but I use DuckDuckGo on my phone, so when I did it, the AI bot had actually, that's on the browser, had said something about they had their last conversations about it on the 12th, so and that was 2 days ago. But yeah, that might be the next market catalyst. Clarity on tariffs, trade agreements, right? All that sort of good jazz. But yeah, nothing really amazing going on. So and see, we've ticked down since. So totally expected to be a sell day, but they could manipulate. You never know. On the individual stock front, though, start with that. We have NVIDIA. So it's been kind of doing this for a while. Every time I put up, yesterday it didn't, but it's been kind of choppy. And even yesterday showed some strength, even though the market was going down. So I found that surprising. But when you look at the daily, I mean, is that not evident? Shoulder, head, we're at the shoulder. This is the end of it right here, really. It's like neckline, break, and we're probably headed down to the 164.75-ish area for a test down there again. So we've already had 1, 2. We had 3 down there when it was first resistance. We had support. Now we've been up here for a little bit, and now I think that there is this tiny gap down here as well. So, and we also have this 200-day moving average moving up. So maybe as NVIDIA comes down, this comes up and acts as confluence either at this level at 157.75-ish. Maybe potentially as an overshoot. Not positive, but maybe. But yeah, if it's going to go here and fill the gap, it might as well come down here, test that level, and then maybe it heads on back up. So my idea on NVIDIA is not any sort of longs. I mean, it's in the middle, so it could go up, break, retest, and go up. I doubt it's going to probably get smacked up by that moving average right there. But my idea is Not even the yesterday's. Oh, I didn't even put it all the way down. Look at that. Right there. Oh, wait. No, that's not it. That's the other day. Whoops. Yeah, so I had it right the first time. But it's break. Maybe a retest here, but it's really this level, I feel like, right here, before I would even think about taking a short on it. But if I'm going to short anything, I'm just going to short the indice, the Qs, because it's going to drag it down, along with all the other stocks. There is some, potential double bottoming right here maybe, but why wouldn't it come down here and test that first? So don't believe that. So that's my thoughts on NVIDIA. And then we have Apple. And it's basically almost like you have to watch the Mag 7. I don't really watch Meta though. I haven't really ever traded it, maybe once, but anyway, same thing. Short for Apple here. I think, maybe it's a retest here off of the previous day low. This is just only a pivot point, so I could easily blow through it as it goes back down. Anyway, it had, kind of like a lower high in the pre-markets anyway. But a potential long could be a break and retest off of the previous day low, shooting maybe up to the one. I wouldn't hold on too long with this moving average coming on down. So maybe somewhere around here, maybe a little bit. Try to have a breakthrough, so maybe 275.50. But my idea is not long; it's a short. So I think it comes down and tests this key level down here. Pull it out. Look at that. There's no real evident pattern. It'd be like a weird looking kind of head and shoulders, like a wonky, deformed one. But there was a lot of toe tapping in here. And so I think, we come down here, test 269. And there's those gaps as well. So Apple has gaps that I've drawn out. Anyway, so potential that we come down here, test as well into the 264 area. And there's a gap down here as well. This is the red line there with a gap, and that's a gap as well. That black line, I just didn't draw it. You can see right here it was in this zone. So short on Apple. Now this might be a bias thing, but Google I feel like has been flagging, although now it just broke that 20-day moving average. Way down here is the 200 with a gap down here, to boot. So that's not cool, but that's a pretty significant gap. Not that I think it would fall that far, but you never know. But we got Uncle Warren, right? Where is he at? Somewhere in this, I think he was somewhere down here in this 250-ish area. So, but my thought process on this is it's just flagging out. It's kind of like the new leader. Plus, it's not just stuck with only AI sort of revenue earnings. So I see like a inverse head and shoulders here forming. So my thought process would be, especially as it's kind of, although that kind of messed it up, that last candle here over the last hour, but it would be a break and retest above, and then we would come back up here and maybe test eventually. It'd be a big move for it to go all the way back up to 317, but maybe this 315 level. But we're at a key level as well. Only one test on it, so maybe it tests there just to see. Oh, on the daily candle, we've actually had 1, 2, 3. So is previous resistance now support at that level? We'll see. There's also a small little gap, so maybe it finally fills that gap and reverses up. But I do have a swing position on that as a long, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully all good, right? Tesla. Big move yesterday. Kind of inside candle to start. Bullish obviously on the MACD. We have the 20 moving average way down here, so obviously it's been explosive since it had the initial sell-off there before Thanksgiving, but it looks like we're just flagging here at this point. So obviously gap from yesterday. Excuse me, I had a cough. I mean, maybe it's a gap fill reversal. If we have a big market sell-off day, it's already had relative strength due to that robo-taxi. So don't expect it to drop much if we're just kind of chopping or if we're in a light sell-off. But bigger sell-off, yeah, maybe we come fill the gap. We retest this 456 level. So I'll actually get rid of some of these. No need. So bullish on Tesla. I have a retest key level and hold, target 475. So actually maybe coming down, breaking through that, testing this as we look out here. You know, we had this, a bunch of tests here. Is the resistance now support? And we go higher from there. So if it does, that would be my ideal situation where we would go back up and at least test the bottom of this basing before it kind of went down. So 475 would be my target on today's session if it actually came down, tested, and then came back up after the test. So, and maybe I would even do a longer dated call to see about testing the all-time high. Amazon's kind of a crazy animal. Like, let's go straight up and then let's basically go straight back down. Is it forming a new higher low? We'll see. MACD saying there's negative sentiment kind of, so not looking the best, but it did kind of base here, hit a few times. It was being bought up. So I do have it to hold the pivot point, and expectations would be that it would come back up here and retrace 226. But obviously if we break that, we are probably head down pretty far, back down to this level here, 218-ish. So bullish, and I have been for a while on Amazon just because it's one of those other companies that don't have only AI sort of stuff and developing their own chip, and that they have obviously Amazon Prime, the cloud services, all that good stuff. So I mean, they still have to build that out with CapEx, but I don't know. They have more than just that. Ad revenue business. So with Prime Video and everything else they got going on. So not so bearish on them. Now this one I do. Avago. This thing, that was that earnings, nice earnings, and then just get blown out. Man, that would have been a nice ride all the way down. Unfortunately, I did not get that. But I think the continuation happens. I don't think there's going to be a bounce anytime soon. The reason being this gap right here. So you look out on the daily. We are basically at where if it doesn't hold here, we're really tanking in that gap fill. So this is actually a top watch for me. This is one I would trade on an individual stock as opposed to the SPY or the Qs or IWM. If Avago can't hold this level, we're going down and we're filling the gap. My opinion, obviously, but top watch for me today. And actually, I got to put that on the main screen when I go back, but I fully expect this to break down, retest, and then we come fill that gap. Maybe there's a then play, because that's right at a key level where it gapped, that we get the ride down and then the ride maybe back up. So Avago, I like that as a trade today. Like I said, probably the number one trade I would look at as an individual, but not until after 9:45 as we wait for the manufacturing and services PMI. So really liking that one there. Then we have Shopify. Shopify, not sure why I didn't like that news, especially for small caps, but you know, I did like this here. This could be, you know, maybe a test here at the 20-day moving average on the daily. So support here, and we would bounce off of that. So it's actually a test and hold and not a, you know, break off of the bottom. So come down here, hit, and then make its way back up. Maybe target back to the previous day's low. So do like that for that play. So another nice potential trade setup happening there if the key level holds. And it could do a break below, fail. So maybe we do like maybe an inverse head and shoulders back up. But that might be more of a patience play than anything else. Lastly, we have Microsoft that I'm watching today. Microsoft is also a short idea I have. Although it looks like, excuse me, I mean, could that be some sort of weird triple bottom? Who knows? I don't like the look because of this. So, I mean, I know that was the neckline there, but this is a key level. You break through that daily 200 moving average and we're headed down. And probably my target would be, well, I mean, I would probably sell some at this pivot point because we did have kind of like a basing there near that pivot point before the breakthrough back up this way. So probably trim most of the position at the 462-ish level. Maybe hold a runner to see if we actually went to test at least to the top of this over here. So but yeah, so that is, and Microsoft also has this big gap down here. Now if we have a larger sell-off, wow, that would be interesting to see. So, but yeah, on the lower levels here on the hourly chart. So break, retest, targeting 462 as my first out, maybe holding on to more for that. We had the SPY up. Daily on this. We just crossed over on the MACD. You could say this is a double top up here. So we have quite a ways to come down before there's actually a neck level. Do we get a look below? Like if we zoom in here real quick and we bounce off of that on an inverse head and shoulders, maybe back up. Maybe there is a Santa Claus rally. Your guess is as good as mine. But I don't see upside. So, and it just shows right here. I mean, it's kind of playing neutral at this point, but break below this level and I expect it to come back down. So fully ready for some shorts today, maybe 0 DTE, who knows? We'll see as it goes. Rely on my bot, which hadn't really talked about yet, but we'll get there. So previous day's low, does it break that? Does it then kind of build out like a, who knows, just whatever to then break down and test? We shall see. The Qs have just been way weaker than the S&P and all that. We got all this gap up here that won't be getting filled at anytime soon. There is a gap down here. I think I had mentioned it previously, but my one bot put a short, well, said to say short yesterday on the Qs with a 592 and change price target. So could we be coming all the way down here? Your guess is as good as mine, but it's very reasonable and it could still be a higher low from that. So do we come down here, put a higher low, then go up? So as you can see, I'm usually a person who likes to do longs more than shorts, but in order to make any sort of money in this market, really it's been the short side the last couple of weeks. and I don't expect it to change today. So, and then, excuse me, the IWM. Whenever I have these smoothies in the morning, that's the problem. But you can see right here, IWM had been bouncing off of this for quite some time. Tried to break out, obviously, set all-time highs. Coming back down to this range, do we finally get a breakdown where, you know, how many more times does that hit before that's weak, where buyers are no longer there? They were there during this whole time. Now they might not be there. Look out on the daily. I mean, is the next target maybe at this point? That would still be a nice little higher low even from this pullback here, where it was like a break, retest, go on the daily. So very much a potential to break down to at least this level and test to see if that previous resistance, where there was plenty of breakdowns, would act as a support, with the 20-day kind of catching up to it. I don't expect like a major sell-off. I just expect slow grind down like it's been doing. So, and so that's it. That's that. Like I said, I have these stocks in here. I probably should put Avago over here. Which one would I not probably trade? NVIDIA. So let's do Avago here. So I want to see if it actually does break down. Front row seats, and then NVIDIA there. Haven't been able to trade NVIDIA successfully. I actually did try one of those too last week, and just a tough no-go stock at this point. This has been kind of basing there for a while, so we'll see what happens. So, no viewers yet, but I do have a Discord trying to get things started. I can go right here actually. And here. But free to sign up if you want to hang out with me. Been just talking to myself on it. So it's called the ASSASSINSDEN. So come here, put some messages in, hang out, trade, stock and market ideas, post your successes if you have any. And there's also going to be eventually where I start putting my bot trades in here for swing trades and things like that. So if you want to see what I'm doing, that's a member-only access, which you would get by going to locals and signing up. The code for 1 free month is ASSASSINSDEN. You know, you get one hit on one of my things, and it could pay the whole year for you. So it'd be $60 a month after the first month free. But if you want to just come here and hang out and do the free stuff and just be with like-minded traders, why not, right? And we've continued to kind of just grind down. So oil going down, obviously good for energy. Bitcoin just kind of holding steady. What's Europe doing? Europe kind of down. Asia down. Wow, the Nikkei. Yep, so interest rates didn't help much. The interest rate cut. So 9:20 on the clock. I'm going to take a brief step out to just get ready for the trading day. Maybe grab myself a cup of coffee before we go. I already got my bot set up on the MacBook. So I will be back in just one moment. All right. I'm back. No coffee, just water. So I did just see on CNBC, I already exited it out, but one of the Hassett there, one of the Fed chief potential candidates, came out and said that the Federal Reserve independence is important and would move rates on consensus. But I also saw news where they were saying that there has been pushback by some in the administration on him becoming that, so who knows, right? But yeah, we're getting ready here. We got 5 minutes till. So Google not looking too hot off the gate. Glad I did January expiration, but at some point might have to just chalk up the L on that one. We shall see. My bot hasn't shown me yet that there's a. I will neutralize the position, and then I will know to cut the bait on it. Same thing, I hold a position in Palantir and Freeport McMoran. So, which none of those are looking good. The sell-off continues, unfortunately, it seems like. But I shall hold it. But it sure looks like a sell day. What's new, right? These. The short side is the right side at the moment, and I mean, no one's been really calling out yet, but are we in a bear market? I know it was called out earlier on when stocks were plunging. You know, the 3% and all that with some of the news Trump said and all that, but we have on the daily and all that lower highs from the top, so are we rolling into a bear market? Yeah, Google. That level's key right here, so we'll see what happens if it blows right through it or not. Uncle Warren, come to the rescue. 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes. Well, less than 2 minutes. And I believe my latency is around 8 seconds. Last I checked, so. Maybe I should put that calming music on. I decided to put that in the video or, you know, the live streams just so, especially when those moments, you know, like you kind of get a little anxious and some of the things I've been working on. Like, so yesterday I had a green day, but I could have had an even greener day if I would have just maintained composure and held on to my short a little longer. Those are the things I got to get better at. But yeah, there's the music. Let's see if it's too loud. There we go. Maybe that's good. There's no one here to listen to it or give me a chat. Vago looks like it's gonna just head right down that way. And here we go. Google already busting through. Yep, jeez. Microsoft. All my alerts go off. Let's just see what we got going on. Oclo down. The Q's 608. Well, it looks like it's bouncing off of that already. So is IWM. The SPY. I just view every pump that might happen as a pump to just the big guys to get out. I'm going to put this down. Put it on the 2-minute chart. Come back over here. It's probably going to fill the gap. Fill the gap. Come on, Google, you need to hold. Apple doing nothing. Tesla. Maybe it's going to go for a gap fill. And that looks like the move right off the get is S&P, NASDAQ going for the gap fills. See what Nvidia is doing nothing. Microsoft kind of holding on. Look at Shopify. Right off the... I told you, but it even just started down there. So it started there and just shot right up. So it already hit my price target. I said price target of 159.75. So there it is. One right off the get in 2 minutes would have been done. And I used to actually would sit on those and wait and just try to jump in on it and ride it up. Hard to do though. Avago, Apple's not doing good. I really feel like with Google, it would need to really just hammer it up. Tesla going for the gap. Who knows? IWM, which seemed to be carrying the markets for quite some time. The VIX is going up, so I feel this will be short-lived. I mean, look at S&P, or the SPY anyway. There's the Qs. Just smacking up against the previous day low. Previous day low hasn't touched previous day low yet, so it still has more of a gap to fill. And there is the VIX, just continuing to go up, so just I don't see it staying going high. Biased is to the downside. Really need to see this do like a, maybe it's like a look above and fail on the VIX. Nothing to do yet. Nothing to do yet. Palantirs kind of jumped off the gun, but smacked into its previous day low. So who knows if that was a gap fill as well. Vago, a nice push from the lows there. That's almost a $10 move. What do we got going on? Let's see. That's the dual threat. I don't want that. Yeah, 5 moves off the bat. Oh. Actually, more than that. Yeah. Nvidia below. So, yeah, fully expect that to not hold. Oh, there's a few. Bear trend neutralized. We'll see. Even put it on the SPY. Bear trend is neutralized on the SPY, huh? Look at the Qs. Interesting. Qs above 611. Apple's below 272.30. So Vago having a nice push. Apple breaking down. Like I said, not going to do any sort of trading until after we get the PMI reports. I mean, that can reverse everything. And actually, 10 o'clock has been a reversal in itself. Starts one way, and by 10 o'clock, it totally reverses the other way. Tesla getting bought up a little. Right here. See if Google can push. I mean, the SPY's not. I have to imagine at some point that's going to just. The bear neutral alert is going to change. Because that's not looking good. Can't even break over that. Qs. I mean, we still have the VIX going higher. Well, at least it's kind of pushing higher off the get. IWM, not a full gap fill yet. We'll see if really need Nvidia to hold. I feel like to have any sort of whoa Shopify, man. Yep. Dang. That would have been a nice one. Those are the ones back in the day I'd hop in and just, I see the gap and go if I thought, well, I didn't even think about it, but I would have looked at it a little bit more before start, live streaming, kind of talk about other stuff and not necessarily concentrate fully on positions. But I also did tell myself no go on trading till after these next reports that are coming in about 5 minutes. So all this can be for naught if that report is not good. Do have it up so we can look at it. Stock slipped after July. Yeah. So yep, 5 minutes or so. What does that do for us? Music is calming. I will give it that. Man, Palantir ran all the way up to almost 185 and smacked up by on the 15-minute chart, the 20 moving average or 200-day moving average. So there goes that. Like I said, unless we get some sort of amazing news out of the PMI reports, I don't expect any of the green to last. Like actually Broadcom would be it's kind of an ideal bounce. It's been beat up so bad. But the S&P is on its way down. There's a gap. Probably targeting that. Actually surprised I haven't seen anything fire off yet. Like on the look at reject. It's just every pop is meant to be sold. So there's just no way. Look at that. Dang. That's what I want to see. Like a break, retest, then on its way down. Yeah. It's not a. There's no way we're in a bull market. Care what anyone says. Gonna get ready just in case my bot says, and we got a few more minutes anyway before that report. Wow. Probably needs to fill that gap. Bounce down that far. Any pop is selling. The big boys are selling their positions. Or is this the manipulation to push higher? Yep, there's that. Let's see if the break, the retest, the entry, but it's right near the. We got 45 seconds till those reports come out, so a little too dangerous to be. Even after the fact, let it settle out like a minute or two and Don't trade while there's noise, right? The volatility is on. All right, let's see. What we got? 51.8. Forecast was 52 and 52.9. And are we going down? Sure looks like it. There's a gap on the SPX, so give it a minute or so to. If I miss it, I miss it. There's always another one. Not just going in it because. Yep, I know it's. Amazon's down. They're all going down. Yeah, see? Boom. No, that's why I don't touch it for a little bit. It's got to settle. What's the VIX doing on that? Oh, the VIX spiked too. Yeah, it's looking dicey. Bad news, good news? Who knows? Is bad news good news? They could have just trapped some people for liquidity to push it up. Wow. Holy cow. What a candle. That would have been nice. Does it touch and fully reject up here? Look below and fail. Yep, that's why you let it settle. Let it settle. Wow. Dang. See what happens. It's a pretty big candle for a 2-minute candle if it holds. But it basically engulfed all three of these candles if it holds. Yep, it did. 1, 2, 3. All right, so as of right now, we are not shorting or doing anything. We are letting it settle. Palantir's popping pretty big. See what everything else is doing. Vago holding. Nice. Google's pushing. Tesla turned it around. So that gap is, I might as well just do that. Get rid of that. Apple, not doing a whole lot. That's what needs to get going right here. Nvidia. Shopify. Microsoft holding on. What is the theme of the day? Or is it, wouldn't it be insane if this whole green candle just like went red? Then you know the market's really messed up and it has no idea what it wants to do. Now see, that would have been actually, if I would have thought of, I hate how, man, I'm telling you, E-Trade, man, get your stuff in gear. But like, look at that. Is that the break to go higher? Not sure. Not sure. Looking for the one trade. Oops. Not sure why I did that. Has to bust through that too. That's the only problem. Let's see what we got. Long on AMD. That might be it. Who knows? Or not. I know Palantir is ripping. Straight up, wow. Is this the buy algo getting turned on? Jeez. It's wild. That's why in the midst of when you can't necessarily get a trade pulled off, like a day trade, it's nice to have the swing trades on if, key question is if the market's going in your direction. That in itself would have been an awesome move. Is there any other like news besides that, or is it the market just being like, all right, the punch bowl is going to be turned on, so why not, right? Just buy with your eyes closed, I guess. Not necessarily trusting it. Let's see what else is going on. Nice Google, Tesla, Apple's not being able to break through. Amazon just basing still. There you go, Nvidia. Get a little giddy up. Microsoft not doing a whole lot. And we saw Shopify have a nice little move. Question is the actually I'm gonna look to see. Yeah, the IWM isn't doing much. VIX is plunging though. Whew, not sure. Yeah. We're going to be in Chop City, I think. I honestly think the tariff stuff is what is the next. That needs to come out before Christmas, I think. because that's the big enchilada there is. Or is that the break? I mean, because that was the look above fail. Is it now this? That is the break and go. My bot has not fired anything besides AMD long, which I did not look at that this morning. Might very well be it. Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. Man, Palantir is ripping. It's nice to see. So far the SPY, not the SPY, the SPX is at a key level. It's broken it, but we'll see if it actually tries to bust through it. Same thing as the NASDAQ, the NDX. It's bumping up against the key level I have drawn out, but has yet to break through that. So I feel like the S&P is going to be holding on, waiting, saying, are you coming? We'll see about the 10 o'clock potential reversal. That's always something. Love to see Palantir just start really ripping it. It's at its key level at 185 I have drawn out. Let's kind of show you, since I'm not seeing anything worth doing on the SPY, but there it is. Like, went up, came down, went up. Does it want to go? We'll see, right? Nvidia, there you go. Microsoft starting to catch a bid. Amazon, kind of holding right there at the previous day's low. Shop really kind of hanging out after the nice pump. Tesla going again. See, that would have been the nice one. I actually had said that. Retest the key level, hold targets 175 or 475. So, bam, that would have been a nice entry. And out. Google, nice. Needed to see that. Maybe the party's starting. We shall see. What's something else to look at? Let's just see. Talked about the Qs just kind of butting up against that level. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Nice. No signals though. It's funny. No buy signals besides AMD, so let's just see what's going on with AMD. Okay, I mean, it was probably down here somewhere, but the bear trend's neutralized on the Qs. Same with AMD, I just got that. Bear trend neutralized, huh? So we off to the races then? If we drew out our... I mean, don't have a nice point to... really need more than just one. It's the 10 o'clock hour. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. There you go. Give me a different point. Still wouldn't buy it right there. Is it really bulls on parade? That's the question. No. Maybe. Maybe that's just the fake out for liquidity. The S&P going down. Palantir's still going up. That's good. Or is it going to be another chop day? Come right back in here and just do nothing day. So I mean, every pop is sold. They use it to get out of their positions. Psych. We made you think it was gonna go lower. Nice confluence all right here though. Yeah, Palantir is going. Nice to see. FCX is kind of just hanging out, not doing much. Google's up near almost 310, 309.50. Amazon just doing nothing. Apple doing nothing. Tesla hanging out. Google giving up some gains. Avago. Just a whipsaw market. Wow. It's a pretty nice candle. Do the same thing. Back down and then up and then down. What is the VIX doing? Kind of creeping back up a little. IWM doing nothing. SPY doing nothing. Is the NASDAQ gonna be the winner? Palantir up to 187.15. Nice. Is this it? Is this finally the breakthrough? It's interesting though because there's that gap below on the SPX and it never got a chance to fill it. So, not sure what to think about that. I don't know what to think about that either if it breaks. Have not been good with the break and retest. They usually just sell right into it. I will say I like the music. Kind of just keeps you calm. Cool, calm, collected. Palantir might not want to break through the previous day's high. That's where it's having a problem right now. And just as an example, I mean, this is not, I doubt I'm trading it, but just go over to Palantir. That's where it's fighting right now. But that's why I like to draw out the previous day's high and low with a 1 hour chart. It just seems to work very well. So basically tried to break through. There was buying there, but doesn't look like it's going to happen as the S&P and the Q start to retreat. Yep, like that. See, you cannot buy a break and retest in this market. It's bad. Just tells you everyone's liquidating. Might not be a trade today. I don't know. Nothing but a bunch of chop. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I mean, not horrible. Yep. Palantir totally rejected that previous day's high. Short the SPY. That just came through. Is that because it's under? It's a previous day low or high? Previous day's low. Couldn't get above it. Just knew it wasn't a, just not a good day for being a bull. It's only a 40% conviction on continuation with that though, so not the biggest fan. Not loving that. If I had a higher continuation, we got 78. 678 is the target. Man, it looks like it's gonna do it. Maybe. So all the way back down here, basically 678.03. That's what my bot is saying. $0.01 off. Just don't know though. 40% confidence is not enough for me to want to do it. Are we chopping till Christmas? Feel like, yeah, Google giving it up. Pretty much everything giving it up. Use the pump to sell. Sell. Sell, sell. Short the IWM. Same thing. Only 40% confidence though, so just not loving that. It's been right though on those. It's just like to see it around 60 to 75 or higher, or two confluence zones. Yep, Palantir couldn't do it. Coming back down. Yeah. Look at it go. It's a market that doesn't know what to do with itself. Oh, that would have been a nice trade if I would have taken it. Like I said, 40% continuation percentage is not the best, but they have worked out. Spy says it's going further down now. What did that say? It said 677.13. We are now moving down to this level. Maybe. Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. Could be a look below and fail too. It's only 40% confidence on that. Not sure I trust it. If it rejects off that level, still hasn't even touched this level yet, so that's the worrisome part. Especially taking, it's already dropped, so it's like, yeah, let's short it. But, I mean, right here, it's at a key level, so it's definitely something worth thinking about. I'd like some more confidence with that. I think I'm going to go ahead and try it. I'm in. We'll see if it's correct. That's the stop loss level. See if we can make this the one trade of the day, maybe. Now it's 60%. So the percentage has gone up. That means nothing. But I am in it. See if we make this the one trade of the day. That's what I'm hoping for. Shall see, we shall see. Be nice if it can go. Make like a cool 200 on it. See, 162 is my cost basis. Maybe not. Push down, push. Probably should just take the 150. I didn't do a whole big position on this, but I want to see it actually hit the target. There we go. Nice. I hit my target on it. So what's we got here? 190. I should have went a little bit more maybe. But I did a very small trade on that. I think I only did, see, it was 162 for the times 5. So 810 is what I put on the trade. So to make close to 200, 190, what's that, 190? 810, so 23%. I could have made a lot more, obviously, and it kept telling me like shorting. It's actually, I think the next level is 76.79, so right here. But dang, would have been nice. Could have held it all through that, but hey, I took it with a 40% confidence and actually just went to 75%. Wow. That's the short side's the winning side at this point. It's trying to see where that actually is, because like where is not a good market. It's not a good market to be along anyway. Swing trades are taking a beating. See if anything else presents itself, right? So 76.23. That's where it's saying it's going to go next. Wish I would have fired while I was still going at 75% confidence, because I would have definitely held that. That was my stop loss. No Santa Claus rally, huh? Sure doesn't look like it. Now the IWM, let's just switch over there and look. Whoops, not Broadcom. What's it saying here? 49.51, so right there. Missed the move on that bad boy. The Q's has not fired a short, which is interesting, but it just must not have set up what I was looking for. Gonna explode off of that pivot point and go. I should have probably just tried to hold it to the price target. A lot of times I get antsy like about that, and you hate to lose your gains, especially on a small size. Well, I should say it on a bigger size, but yeah. I mean, is this the reversal and we go back up? I don't think so. Just a yo-yo. Maybe it is. No key level there for me, but so could have wrote it to at least what was it, this 77.03 I think I said I was. It was 77.13. So I got out a little bit higher than that, obviously, but we'll wait to see if there's one more trade. I'd like to make at least 500 today. Long on Oklo, huh? Long on Palantir. Palantir is a long, it's saying. Off of that level. 184. Got to 186.39. Should be somewhere up there. I'm not going to do that, I don't think. Very interesting, though. It's one of my newer bot systems. Multi-time frame, plus a hammer, plus the fib. Well, we'll see, right? Not sure this market's going to give you anything like that. This might just be a higher low, or a lower high, I mean. One of these days I'd really like to like full port. Just full port it. I'd want like 100% confidence rating. Look at that though. Bam, right back up into there. Key level. So is that the second look up below and fail that they swept this area for liquidity and now it's time to go? Now's the real time to push. I don't trust it. I do like streaming while I'm doing this because you talk stuff through. Nobody's watching, but... And maybe that's because my thumbnail's not that great. I do need to figure out how to record. Like, I guess I would hit start recording as well when I'm live, and then... Because I'd like to recap the trades and stuff, so maybe people see it. Being able to put more content out there and seeing if anyone wants to watch. Yeah. Moving averages above. No trade. Once again, though, man, my bot is... I would have taken the first one. What a ride. And then as it went down, it kept updating with the confidence it had. I made a pretty nice little bot here on the SPY, Qs, and IWM. It's been pretty money except for one time. One time it just... oh, wait a second. I just realized... So the SPX just filled its gap. The gap has been filled on that. All right. Well, we'll see what happens here. Is that all that was needed to go higher? Who knows? But I'm not pushing anything. I mean, is that a retest and reject? All I know is if I can't find one more trade, I might just call it a day. But one thing I have thought about as well is like sometimes maybe it's not even worth trying to do more than one in the morning. Worst part is volatility starts going down. Actually, let's take a look at that. Well, that's a nice reject candle. Do we pump back below? We got the Qs, we got the SPY, we got the IWM. See, it's like nothing, 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 nothing. I mean, it's inside the previous days. There's no catalyst. It's kind of hovering right below, hovering right below. Tesla is obviously in between its previous low and high. Same thing with Google. It's like there is no reason for this market to move anywhere because we have no good catalysts that are outside the AI trade. That's actually what needs to happen is, in my opinion, we need catalysts that are outside of the AI. Like, you know, bad economic data should not be good for the markets when AI is bad already because of the capex, right? So you would want to have good data. And then maybe that would offset so the market could say something like, all right, well, AI kind of goes through this transformation of the evaluations and or capex spend or whatever it ends up being, like, well, at least the rest of the economy is holding things up. But when it's only AI and then you look and you see not good news out of this here, I mean, you just got bad news on top of already bad news. So need the tariff situation settled. I don't even think like if Russia and Ukraine did a ceasefire that would even matter. Maybe it would, but sanctions would be lifted and be more global trade. Who knows? All right, short the IWM is what we have here. Just fired. It's pretty ugly. Do I want to take it is the question. Strike on that 250. I don't know. But you want to know what? I think we're going to give it a whirl. If I can get in a little bit better price. See if it will fill or not. Wait, what did I do with that? No. I didn't want to just go in on a market order. We'll see. I don't know. $72. That's only to right here, so it's basically a double bottom. Yeah. I cancel out of that. I don't know if I trust it. I mean, it's not looking good for the rest of the market, so I mean that might be a wise play, but decided against it. %60 continuation. has a really tight stop loss too, so I mean, it might very well go and do it. So 49.72, right there. If it's gonna go, that's where it's saying it's gonna go. That'd be interesting if it double bottoms. Do you then try to play the recovery back up? Starting to like get to where I don't like it, you know. You start seeing the MACD kind of flatten out, and like honestly, surprised the SPY didn't fire. That's actually had the move down, and but it was just the IWM. One thing I've also thought about is like, you know, maybe I should implement a cooldown period where when you take one trade and you know, maybe you don't take a trade for 30 minutes or so. Like, so let's see, I exited that position at 10:22, 10:23. So don't just jump into a position just to jump in, right? And see, it's there's a lot of indecision. So I might just call it a day. Been streaming now for almost 2 hours. It's a long time to stream. If anybody does come across this and they watch it, please give it a like. Please share it with your friends or your fellow traders or whoever. Can't always trust the bot, right? I mean, the MACD just didn't make sense to me, and I really don't like to take trades with low continuation probabilities. All that was 60, but we're in the chop and slop at this point, so trying to play directionally almost doesn't make sense. There it goes. I think we're just gonna bounce up and down today. I've had some good days. I've had some bad days, obviously. Actually, one of them you guys got to see live if you go back and look. Who knows if this would even be something to pay attention to. Would have been like breakout. Very like it's been very sparse or low key on the bot signals today. Palantir had that. What was the stop loss? 181.67. Never even came close to that. So 186.39 is the target on that. It's on the 15 minute. It's actually looking pretty nice on a potential bounce. Yeah, double bottom. So maybe. See, we got that 83.79. Saying maybe back up to this range. Because I have a swing trade, I will not be doing that. But it'll be interesting to see if my bot actually gonna put an alert at. It's 184.81 is the first target. 184.81, so right there. And then the second one, 186.39. Be interesting to see if we hit that today. I don't think I'll be live streaming when it happens. But just for my... So that double bottom too off of that. Just most of the time these pops like that are meant to be sold to fake out patterns. Faking people out. It's a nice double bottom though. Right off the key level too. So look above, test, fail. Now is this the giddy up and go? Guess we'll know when we get there, right? Nothing else is... We've checked some of the other stocks that I've been looking at. Nvidia doing absolutely nothing. Microsoft nothing. Nice pop by Shop. Now just hanging out. Basing, I guess, maybe for... That's like divergence right there. So that's somewhat interesting. Nothing. Just hanging tight in between yesterday's zones. Same thing here, just hanging at the bottom of yesterday's zone. And Avago, same thing. I just don't think any patterns are being honored at this point. Yeah, so, I mean... This is what I'm doing. If anybody watches this and they actually look to see what I do and they're towards the end, it's 10:50 right now. Just doesn't seem worth streaming anymore. There's not a whole lot of action going on for me to want to partake in. I'll take my 190. Should have held on longer and just let it go to the target. Would have had a lot more. I had about half of a distance left to hit that, and it actually surpassed it by some. So I appreciate anyone who watches. Tune in, I guess, on weekdays. Yeah, see, just nothing's honored. Garbage trading. Maybe this is holiday trading. I don't know. It's my first time ever day trading, like through the holiday season. Wasn't even doing this last time, or this time last year. So, anywho, just as a recap, I do have a Discord called Sabermetric Stock Market Assassins Den. Same thing on locals. Those are in the description. Yeah. So if you want to come hang out with me, please subscribe, like, share. Go join those. Say hello so I know you're there. And that is it. I am done for the day. Hope everyone has a good one. We'll see you next time.